Hello, my name is Yuri Andrade, and this is my final presentation as requirement to graduate in higher diploma in science computing in CCT. My project calls Sporlanc, and today I'm gonna explain briefly about the project overview, technologies, and how I implemented them, all the evaluation of further work and conclusion. So the project overview. So what it is Sportlanc? Sportlanc it's a center, a sports center where you can learn language at the same time. I read about that the more joy that you have doing some activity, it's more easy to learn. So why don't you take a funny place that you can learn language and play sports? And why? Why not have new friends? So this sports center are available for kids and adolescents from 6 to 16 years old. They are able to book private and group classes. The sports available for these business will be football, volleyball, handball, basketball, horse riding, fencing, and golf. And nice, it's gonna be English and Spanish, two of the most important languages nowadays. And one of the restrictions that I applied, it's these businesses are open from Monday to Saturday, mornings and afternoons. They're not able to book on Sundays or evenings. So it was one challenging when developing a website. So uh, initially I wanted to apply as an application, but didn't work because the too many languages that I would have to learn during the short time that I have to develop this application. Um, I decided then to develop a website. And the overview of this website will be a homepage where any person can check the content, and the content will be about the business, where it's located, and the pricing of the classes, and also would be nice some room for reviews from the users. Well, the private sessions are the most important in this project as they were developed. And there is a register or sign up process for parents, and also the login schemes for two kind of staffs, users. The staff session where the staff can check the classes that they will give during the following weeks, and they will be able to add classes, private and group classes, and also they will be able to update details about themselves. The parent session, where after they registered process, they will be able to check and update personal details, add students or their kids, and these kids, students, they will be able to book classes, private or group sessions, and they will be able to review the classes, edit some classes, delete, and buy products for this company and print invoice. Initially, I implemented that they would be able to borrow products, but as I will show you later on, didn't work. So what are the technologies that I implemented in my website? So for the database, I use MySQL as main language. Why MySQL? MySQL is the second most used language, SQL language nowadays. It is a relational model, so it's perfect for complexity and more strong queries than the NoSQL versions. And MySQL has the advantage of really good documentation online and the connection with Java APIs and Java projects. And so it's for my project, and also, but not least important, I learned this language during my course in CCT. So to deploy my database locally, I used MAMP, a stack that helps deployments of websites, and MAMP are created for Macintosh or Mac users, but also you can use in Windows, as I did when I was creating virtual machine, and it supports MySQL. So important to use MySQL and some stack that will support it. And after, in the very end, I deployed my database in a online service, a cloud service, and I use AWS, and it's Amazon services for cloud computing. And why I used these service, because they are popular now, and also I read a lot about and I was interested to learn, and for sure it's gonna be an opportunity later on to my career knowing this kind of technology. In the backend, I use Java instead of PHP. Why? Because Java, it's a general purpose language, fast, security, reliable, a lot of available documentation. And it is also my personal interest in this language because I like this kind of object-oriented language instead of PHP. Um, and also, why not? I want to become an engineer, software engineer, and I know that these companies uses Java as language. I used as well Spring, a framework that saved tons of time and tons of bunch of code that could guide me to errors. And the framework are libraries created that easily the process of writing the code and coding. And it's easy to implement, vast documentation, and pretty lightweight. Um, Spring are used for these companies, so it's still job opportunities to learn this kind of language. The web server that I used was Tomcat, Apache Tomcat. Um, the good point about this, it's really implemented with Java Servlet and JSP that I use in dynamic projects in Java. It's, as you can see again, all these companies use this language. So in the front end, I couldn't escape. I used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with Bootstrap as framework. The Bootstrap saved me time to implement responsiveness, and the responsiveness will represent when I want to the content of my web page looks exactly the way that should look, regardless the screen size. So how I implement basically designing something, reading about, and doing my literature review. I implemented test, and even the test was going to give me a good sign that I was doing the right thing, I could implement more. So I was always using this process of checking my plan and redesigning my product. So how I implemented the backend? To implement the backend, the very first step that I did, I needed to read about, again, logical, conceptual, and physical models. And this is the scheme for my physical model. And I can point it out quickly, the three tables that I think is the most important. So employee, where the primary key employee will turn to be a foreign key in the class session. And also I have the booking, and the booking will be able to integrate both students and class. And student can have how many books he wants, but every booking has only one student and every booking has only one class. That's what that will define a relationship that wouldn't crash my system, because it's 1 to n and 1 to m again. And first, this table could be a relationship n-m. So what I did in the back end and front end, I needed to design something that was able to get requests from the front side, front end server side, the client side. And doing so, I used MVC pattern of dealing with this kind of project. And the MVC use model, view, and controller. The controller, as you can see here, will get all the requests from the front end, and the controller will send or will process a query through a DAO, a data access object. And these DAO use models. Models are representatives of the entities in the database. And once all this done, they will return to the controller as an object in Java. And then this object in Java will transfer the content to view, and view will be the client side. And all these are connected by a web container, and these web container are the servlets that I mentioned earlier on that I need Apache to deploy. So evaluation, quick evaluation about my website. Most of the functionalities that I set in the beginning, it's working, and some of them, they're not working. But I know the approach that I needed to take, I didn't have enough time to take. And I am glad that I will be able to finish my code and improve my code as a self um, satisfaction, and also to show in my portfolio in a working situation. And you can log in as a staff or user, but there are no security implemented. And I read later about this, so it was too late. The booking, I can book and restrict the starting day, the type of class, the available slots. If I request a private class, it's okay. The sport and language I choose, it's only unique. But the problem is weekday. So there are private and group classes, and private classes, you can book whatever you want. But this is not what I wanted. The group classes are there already. So I need to find a method where I can check for the group classes all the time that the group classes are used. And then only when there are available slots, I will put the private classes. I haven't implemented this one yet. So display the bookings. I can display all, but I cannot display per week. So the next week, I have no idea what is going on. I will check all the bookings, all the classes, but I don't know if it will if they are only for that week. I have to improve this. And also about product. Initially, I said that I could borrow, but unfortunately, I didn't implement this due lack of time, and I didn't think about how could I implement this. The invoice, it's working, you can print, but I cannot archive old bookings. So if the booking happened last week and finished last week, there's no method whatsoever telling me that happened last week. I only know that it started last week. So the admin stuff, it's a unique stuff that he is able to create an employee. So you don't need to go to the database and insert into all the details about an employee. You can use the website to do so. And also, he was going to be the one to approve classes, private classes, and then assign the right employee. And I didn't do it due lack of time. So the staff can check all his classes, and he is not able to see the classes for the next week as I wanted. I host my database online, but I couldn't host Java Web Project online. I tried using AWS. I tried to use Google Cloud Platform. I tried to use OpenShift, and all of them I wasn't able to deploy. So this is one of the things that frustrates me a lot, and I want to, as soon as possible, to deploy online because I want this website working. Fine. So let's gonna check some methods and the result that I do have. Okay, so about the methods. I'm gonna show this one. This is when you save a booking. The good thing about this, the first thing, whatever the date that you choose, it's going always to save in the first day of that week. So what I did, the input from the client will be day 2, and the day will be the day of today. Oh, sorry, they will be the name of the day. So it's gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And then whatever day I input if statements to always return the first day of that week. So as you can see here, if it's value 1, there is nothing to be done because it's Monday already. But if it's value 2, it's going to be Tuesday. So I need to return 1 day. I put just to show that you can return to Monday, to show Monday, but also the date will be Monday. And then you have for the all the days. Also, I want to check if the student has booked already that class or not. If he hasn't, he can book. If he has booked, he won't be able to book. There are room to improve because you can book when some booking has been used already. After that, you can return to the methods. Here, I will have the authentication that I thought it was the right way to implement security, but is not the right way. What happens when the input of the user is there? I will check in the database if both are correct. If those so, they will enter the system. If it is admin, it is only one admin, he will go to the home admin. But if no, he's going to be to the home employee. If the data is incorrect, he will put in the login page again, and then he will know that what detail is incorrect. I also have this method that I do like to talk about. It's about when I check how many years or how old is the student, sorry. And this method to check for the birth date. Then I get the birth date from the user, and then I have a method that will compare the birth date with the date of today and return me years as an integer. And then that's the way that I control and if I can insert that student or not. And then I have the method of invoice, and quick about this one. This method showed me the final price of all that booking related to the class, how many weeks he subscribed, and all the products that he bought, she bought for that class. Okay, so let's gonna check the website. Quickly, this is the home page where you can see the about detail, the map, or where it looked, where it sits, the price, and also the classes. It's only like a regular test. There are no specification of what the business is because this wasn't the case. There is no need to put information right now, as this website is in developing process. So when I logged, I can go to the login page, and then let's gonna Buddha as username, Buddha as password. No. So student register. Here you can add new students, but also you can see the student that this person has. Buddha has 3 students or 3 kids, and let's gonna do some bookings or check the bookings for Juliana, and you can add a new booking if you want as well. So bookings here, and then you see that Juliana has several bookings, and these bookings she can delete. She can see the class details of this booking, but also the class detail is over here. You just compare with here, and then you can buy items for that student, and you can see the basket. First, let's gonna buy an item. Let's gonna buy socks for her. How many quantities? Like, I don't know, I'm gonna buy 40. And then we have the ID is 14. This is hard code for the moment. I mean, I have to put, but later on I want to improve, and then all connected. And then I don't need to know the number. I just pick up the option that I want. So 40 socks for that, for Juliana, and this was the booking. So let's gonna take a look at the basket. You see 40 here and number 14. So the item 14 is this item 14, and then the number booking that is her booking, and then this is the number of item. It is only to show in the database, and she can edit or delete. That's gonna return, and let's gonna take a look at the print invoice. So it's gonna be a nice price because we have all that like socks. So 40 socks, and also the class, it's only like In this case, 15 euros per week, it's gonna 60 euros. And but the products for that booking, it's a lot. And you can print if you want. Okay, perfect, nice. Let's gonna close it. Return. You can add new booking, you can edit, and you can delete situations, and you can see dates here, 6 to 17 as I mentioned. Let's gonna go to the stuff now. Teacher one, password one, whoa. Okay, I can see details, I can update these details. There are some details that he's not able to update, and he will be able to check the timetable and all the classes that he is assigned. In this case, he can print as well, and then he can see how many spots are available for that class. It's good to know if he has to prepare this class for many students or only few students, but he knows all the details. So that's the main thing about my website. There are many things that I could talk about, but there are no time to talk about this. And finally, just like quickly, let's gonna sign up. Enter her error code. You can see here, there are lists. Let's gonna take this one because it's already in the system, submit. Then new person, so name, my name, Yuri, Andrade, 083, blah, 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 wherever, Dublin, username, it's gonna be Yuri. My password, oh, wait, so my password, my email is gonna be Yuri. Let's gonna put Sporlanc. And then my password is gonna be Yuri. It's easy, sign up. Not now. Okay, let's log in now. Parent, Yuri. And now, oh, cool. And I don't have any students because I just logged. New student. So it's Yuri again, junior. Yeah, cool. Birth date. And here in Safari, I cannot see, and I have to put hard code. But when I use Google Chrome, it's gonna be like the calendar here. So that's gonna put like 10 of October. Then it's gonna be, it can be female, they're Japanese. Okay, save. Okay, now I have a one student and he's 9 years old. Nice. Then I can add new booking. Quickly, new booking. Let's gonna take a group class because they are available for us. So I can check these classes and then I know the age in this case. You see, it's not showing here, but they are only for these students, like only for 10 years or less. Sorry, should be here. And this, it's slightly wrong. So this is the age and this is the language. And then I could book. Let's go book. I want like Saturday classes. I want for a semester, and then the starting date will be 17 of August. Then, oh, let's gonna put 18, that is Tuesday. And then you're gonna see that's gonna be returned Monday for that week. Save. And then you can see Monday here, 17. Okay, that's it. Let's gonna go finally to the presentation. Further steps, as you can see, this is the first version of my application. There are many things to improve, many things that I would like to improve for the second version. This is my first web application using Java, and I learned a lot, and it was so great to see all the methods working, and I could see in the front end. So I'm glad that I did it. Thank you for all, CCT. I hope you liked the presentation, and that's it. And I look forward to our section of questions and answers.